at white, official weight 159 1/2 pounds. His professional record, an outstanding one. 25 victories, including 16 knockouts and only 1 defeat. He's from London, England, and he's the IBF #3 ranked middleweight challenger in the world, dazzling Darren Barker. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing red, officially weighing in the same 159 1/2 pounds. His professional record, 29 victories, including 15 knockouts and only 1 defeat. And by way of rematch, he has defeated every man he's ever faced. From Harrington Park, New South Wales, Australia, the reigning, defending IBF Middleweight Champion of the World, Daniel Real Geale.
Let's go. All right, boxers, you both received my instructions in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. I expect a good, clean fight. Let's touch gloves.
These are two middleweights who are champing at the bit to throw themselves in against the top of the division. They both believe tonight will come down to the stretch run, the championship rounds. Geale says he gets stronger as the fight goes on. Barker says his experience against Martinez will make the difference.
First punch of the fight was a quick left hook inside, landed by Geale. Barker is a little bit longer. We'll see if he can get his jab going and create space and distance, which would help him to control the fight. He was able to do it some of the time against Sergio Martinez. Geale with another swift left hook.
They're not fighting like they're planning on it going down to the stretch run so far. Some great shots.
Roy, what do you see so far?
I see Barker landing some very precise punches with a lot of shock on him. I don't know how Geale is going to hold up to him, but Barker is definitely landing the better punches right now.
There's a good left hook by Barker, followed by a double jab. Geale bouncing in and out, trying to find an opening. Barker stops punching when Geale throws. Doesn't seem to want to trade. Geale letting his arms go a little bit more freely.
Break, step back, break!
Right hand lands up top for Barker. And another.
A little more mustard on these shots than I expected early, Jim.
Especially from Barker.
Good left hook for Darren Barker.
Tell you the other thing I noticed right now, Jim, is Barker seems to, not Barker, Geale seems to waste just a little bit more energy on his attack than does Barker. I think Barker learned this experience from that Martinez fight.
There was a terrific left-hand body shot by Barker, followed by a hard right hand upstairs by Daniel Geale. In the last fight, Max Kellerman was talking about the possibility that maybe Romero should throw more body shots. When the taller fighter throws body shots, he opens himself up upstairs. That may have been one of the reasons Romero didn't want to do it.
Barker just hurt Geale with a jab. That was impressive.
They're throwing hard.
Barker looked shocked by the right hand that Geale landed and put him in slow motion for a second.
very good first round. There's Gemma K.O., the fiancée of Darren Barker. Not clear whether she liked or disliked what she saw in the first round. Now she likes it. A smile on her face. And here's Tony Sims talking to Darren Barker.
Don't throw shots on the way out, you know what I mean? Make sure you're in the range. That's good when you're back to nothing on the ropes. Let him go, man. Make sure you're back to the ropes. Let him go on there, yeah? Keep breathing, yeah? Don't want you dropping your hands, though, you know, when you're pulling out. Don't drop your hands. Keep your hands there.
When you're turning, what you're doing, you're getting to the side.
Geale's trainer is Graham Shaw.
You're making, you're giving yourself an opportunity, you're not taking it.
Really good start.
That's
he doesn't think the pace of this can go like this. Okay, fellas, all day like this.
CompuBox numbers in round one. Geale 17 of 69, 25%. Barker 16 of 63, 25%. We told you it looked like a fairly even matchup. Statistically, that was a remarkably even round.
Stop, step back, break.
When Geale first moved from Tasmania to Sydney, it was to train in the gym with the living Australian legend Jeff Fennick, who was an extremely high output offensive fighter, throwing often more than 100 punches per round. Geale isn't quite as busy as Fennick was, but that was part of the goal, was to get to that level.
Certainly to get the most out of himself and not ever lose because he was out of gas late in the fight.
Good uppercut by Geale, and a good body shot with the right hand. Once again, Barker puts up a peekaboo defense when Geale tries to get busy.
Barker's much more settled here in his attack than what we've seen him when he first came over against Sergio. He's shown a lot of improvement, and he's shown a lot of poise now because he's not attacking just wildly. He's picking the shots like that right hand right there.
Very selective.
I think he just hurt Geale again.
Very efficient, and he drives Geale back into the ropes. That Barker right hand may be the best punch of the fight so far.
Yes, the second time I think he's hurt Geale too.
See the confidence that Barker talked about infusing his entire fight so far. A little more assertive and aggressive.
Uppercut lands for Geale. Barker once again with the peekaboo up. Now steps back, creates space. Jab and a right hand landed for Barker.
Barker can't let Geale keep hitting. Geale can't let Barker keep hitting him with that straight right hand.
Geale is so busy bouncing around, all this body motion, sometimes gets himself into the wrong position. Barker much more efficient with his feet.
That part is not surprising. If this fight goes late, Geale believes that he'll be the guy out hustling Barker, the guy with that little extra something. And the odds makers agreed by a slim margin coming into this fight.
Good body shot by Barker. Geale backs away at the end of the round. This Tuesday, it's the premiere of the next Real Sports, featuring a profile of pro wrestling star turned Yogi Diamond, Dallas Page. Well, let me get that straight. Pro wrestling star turned Yogi Diamond, Dallas Page. Following Real Sports, it's the premiere of the next installment of Hard Knocks training camp with the Cincinnati Bengals. I think that means that she took up yoga.
Frozen block, fast, come back with your shot. Just keep your hands there, yeah?
Yeah.
Watching along,
Good, mate.
Deep breathing. That's good.
He see Barker land this beautiful long right hand right over the top of Geale's jab, right on the button with the straight right hand, which was probably his best shot. And then here's a beautiful right body shot right on the belt line. May have been a little low. Yeah, I think it was low, so the referee did give him a little warning. He didn't take a point, so it's all good.
Box.
Eddie Cotton is a referee with a storied past. He's been in a couple of the most important fights of the last 10 or 12 years. CompuBox numbers in round 2. Geale was 18 out of 67. Barker was 24 out of 70. Barker much busier tonight than he was in his fight with Martinez 2 years ago, when he averaged only 45 punches per round. And once again, those numbers from round 2, pretty even. Now they begin to swing a little bit more freely.
And they throw some big shots too.
Both guys looking to land power shots. Midway through the third. Solid stuff by Barker. Really good left hook in the center of the ring.
Yeah, it was.
Geale throwing and missing too often. Now right hand by Geale after Barker misses.
I tell you, Barker throwing some real shots in there, son. Some
The
real
body
shots.
especially.
Yes.
He's using Geale's aggression against him. Sometimes Geale comes in and tries to get his body on Barker so he can body him off for punching space. Barker, on at least 2 occasions, has been able to step back, as in a basketball game, pull the chair, and hit the open Geale in the space that he creates. Good left jab upstairs by Barker.
It's a good middleweight fight between two good, really contenders in the division. They're throwing like they mean it. I don't think either fears the other's power, and that's one of the reasons it's been a pretty good scrap so far.
Well, I think Geale should fear Barker's power a little bit.
Well, it was conventional wisdom coming in that maybe Barker had a small edge in power, and it does seem to be showing up in these first 3 rounds. Hard right hand by Barker. Left hook lands for Barker. Seems to have been a very good 3rd round for the Londoner, Darren Barker, and he waves his glove aloft as he goes back to the corner. And there is Sheena Geale, described in Geale's bio as the private school girl from around the corner who fell in love with him in junior high, and they've been together ever since. Once again, it doesn't show up in the skin tone, but she too has some Palawa Aboriginal tribal blood.
You've got to punch off that roll, you know. You're making him miss, you're not really making him pay, you know. As soon as that roll hook, and either side you get hooked. If it's this side right, left. Yeah. Drop to the body too. We're not working the body too much here, you know.
Good.
But you're going good. You're going good.
I'm going very good. Just gave him a little bit of room there, so keep that work.
Yeah.
All right?
Make sure you
Very controlled effort so far by Darren Barker, who has weathered some early storm action from Daniel Geale and seemed to control the fight in the 3rd round, where he landed 22 of 52 power shots by CompuBox count to only 8 of 35 for Geale. Our unofficial ringside scorer is Steve Weisfeld. Steve, how do you have it through 3?
Jim, I have it 30-27. There's a number of punches, the hardness of the punch and the impact of the punch, and in all 3 rounds, 1, 2, and 3, Barker's shots just had more impact. So we'll see how his stamina holds up, but after 3 rounds, I have it 30-27.
Already the crowd buzzing from a big upset in the fight which preceded this one, as Kiko Martinez lifted a title belt from the previously unbeaten Jonathan Romero. And now, Daniel Geale, who has held the title through 5 straight title defenses, behind on at least our unofficial scorecard early against Darren Barker.
Barker looked like he absorbed a right hand from Geale, and he looks like his legs are okay now, but for a second I thought he tipped a little bit.
Yeah, I thought it stunned him too, Max.
It's hard to see if he was just pivoting off the ropes or if he was hurt.
I thought it was a great shot.
Takes a lot of stamina to fight the way Daniel Geale fights, and he hasn't. He's shown it over and over.
One tough competitor. Well, two tough competitors in this case.
Well, we've mentioned that this could be a fight of technical adjustments all the way through. And whoever made the best adjustments might be the guy who would win the fight. If Barker has, in fact, controlled the first 3 rounds with harder shots, what must Geale do, Roy, to turn it around?
Well, he got to quit standing chest to chest with Barker because Barker's definitely throwing the more powerful shots. He has to go around him like he's doing now and throw more punches because that's his strength. His strength is his numbers, not his power.
So far, Geale's best weapon has been that right hand when he whips it across. He stunned Barker with it, I think, several times, but otherwise, Barker's doing a pretty good job of taking away Geale's other punches.
Good body shot, a couple of uppercuts by Barker. Geale once again leaning his body against him, getting ready to try to body him off.
Let him go, let him go.
Barker again creating a little bit of space with his feet. Oh, very bad low blow right on the cup. Barker has 5 minutes. Nobody ever takes 5 minutes.
You got time. You got time, right? You got time.
Barker's not even going to take a minute.
You got time, right? How you feel? You all right? You got a little bit of time.
He didn't get hit. The other guy got hit.
Eddie Cotton is talking to Geale as though he's the one who absorbed the low blow. It was Barker who absorbed the low blow.
That's right. You know what I mean? You got to pick him up.
Wow,
That's right.
really?
You got to pick him up, all right? Now, because that's
Telling Barker to pick him up?
All right, we don't want to do that again.
So we should show Eddie the replay. Barker must be wondering what the world is talking about. I don't know. I mean, did you see Geale throw a low blow?
No. Yeah, Geale threw a low blow, yes.
I mean, yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
It's because twice earlier, Geale complained, at least once, of Barker hitting him low.
A good uppercut by Geale. Another good uppercut by Geale.
Get up his head, get up his head, get up his head. Get up his head.
Good right hand by Daniel Geale as they close out that round.
Barker looks like he may be cut near his left eye, the corner of his left eye.
September 28th, former middleweight titleist Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. faces off with rough and tumble Brian Vera, and light heavyweight title holder Adonis Stevenson takes on Boris Clown. 1 week later, Miguel Cotto's back in action and will face off with Delvin Rodriguez. Also that night, the long-awaited heavyweight title fight between Vladimir Klitschko and Alexander Povetkin. Boxing on HBO on September 28th and October 5.
You all right? They might be cuts you started sliding up nice now. You know what I mean?
He see Daniel Geale come in and throw a right under low blow, right down the middle, way below the belt. How in the world the referee
And for this, Barker got warned.
warned the recipient? I don't know. He may have got this a little confused, but he got it right. I think he understands now.
Motor running. Right? Yeah, you're in a good
CompuBox
place
numbers in the 4th round. Geale, 21 of 71. Barker, 21 of 70. They landed the same number of punches in the round. They threw 1 punch different. Remarkable.
Great fight.
Even fight.
The fight was already good. It got better after the low blow.
So you think you can score boxing matches? Steve Weisfeld's job tonight and the job for the 3 official scorers, extremely challenging.
All right, don't spin it, don't spin it, don't spin it. Cover yourself.
Good left hook by Barker. Caught Geale flush.
This is the kind of fight Geale wants, more than the fight before the low blow, though. A little bit messier, more frenetic kind of pace. The more controlled boxing pace is more of Barker's fight, it seems.
I agree with you, Max. Good body shot by Geale.
You mentioned Geale's great stamina. I think you've already seen that he also has a very good chin.
Let him go, step back.
Great right hand by Geale.
Been his best punch all night.
Clean shot.
A good body shot by Geale.
Right on the belt line. And another good body shot right on the belt line. So Geale beginning to try to chop Barker down to the body.
He's not giving Barker time to think as he was earlier in the fight.
Good uppercut by Barker and overhand right.
By Geale, you mean?
I mean by Geale, yeah. My bad. Oh, good right hand by
Straight
Geale.
right hand by Geale. Caught Barker flush again.
And this
Daniel
is the,
Geale having his best round now.
yeah, this is the part of the fight you expect his numbers to start taking over. But once again, here comes Barker right back. Barker's face starting to show the effects of those numbers, though.
Geale has a little smudge outside of his right eye. Both of them are taking a lot of leather early in the fight. Barker, who was hit with body shots early in the round, comes back with a body flurry of his own.
A great body flurry at that.
Barker trying to catch Geale coming in with that uppercut. Another great body flurry by Barker.
My goodness.
Excellent round.
Couple of breaths.
Let's get our breathing back. Come on.
Don't walk him with nothing. You know, close thing. Don't just walk in. I'd rather you get away from him. You know what I mean? Rather than walking nothing. Don't do the rope thing. It just doesn't look good for us. You know what I mean?
He's not hitting it,
unless
but
you're
it
drawing
looks
him on
bad.
there, be first. Yeah, don't dance around there. It just makes him look better than what he is.
Yeah.
You know?
He's not landing, I know, but don't let him look good. That's the only time he looks good.
How you feeling now?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you boxing well, man.
Yeah, unswelled. Unswelled.
Yeah. Come on, let's go, man. You've got to use your class here. Let them punches go and move side to side, man.
Where is
You know what I mean? You always wash out. He's been back in with one. And after you've let yours go.
Go to the next one.
In the preceding fight at 122 pounds, you saw how Jonathan Romero's left eye got tenderized by right-hand punches early and then eventually burst open on an unintentional butt. Barker has exactly the kind of soft spot growing outside his left eye right now that ultimately led to a cut for Romero. Good left hook by Geale. Barker comes back with a left hook of his own.
I thought it was cut a couple rounds ago, but you're right, it's just a
Oh, good right hand by Barker.
Straight right hand shot.
Ever since the low blow, it's as though Barker can't reestablish the rhythm and the pace that he had before. Geale was able to change the tenor of the fight.
But these body flurries are beginning to build up some points for Barker as he has gone to multiple punches to the body now several times since the early part of round 5.
And maybe a neutralizer for those late rounds where Geale thinks he'll be able to rally, take a little steam out.
That's exactly what he's trying to do.
So we'll see if it's a productive tactical change for Barker, who landed big stuff upstairs early and within the past round and a half has gone down to the body. Once again, though, when the taller fighter goes to the body, he exposes himself to the possible counter upstairs. Geale hits him with a right hand, high on the side of the head, and down goes Darren Barker.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Barker's up.
Can you continue? What are you gonna do? You sure? Are you better show me something? Let's go.
Looks like that was a good body shot.
Brilliant body shot. Geale's going to try to finish him right now. Barker's going to hold on. He's still in trouble.
That was amazing. It came out of nowhere.
Yep. He didn't expect it coming. Well, he didn't see it coming.
Well, I think the right hand counter upstairs was followed by a body shot. That was the problem. Barker may not survive the round. What a courageous show by Barker now, as he realizes he's got no choice but to throw, and knocks Geale into the roof.
Yes, he hurt Geale.
Hurts of a burglar for Darren Barker.
That was an epic comeback so far by Barker. It looked like that was all she wrote.
Absolutely brilliant. I can't wait to see the replays to see exactly what happened. No one could ever question Darren Barker's courage. That was amazing. He's going to survive the round.
Wow.
Wow.
Standing ovation in Atlantic City as both fighters put on a show.
Big breath.
Big breath. Excellent work. Excellent work.
Good stuff. That's what you got to do. You got to stay on him.
You're going to come out and target your body now. You've got to counter into the edge when you target your body, right? You what? I can't do nothing about that. No. That's the thing you got and come back. You right now?
He dug deep for that last round. He ain't got much more left in him. You get him again, get on his hammer.
Stay with him, nothing silly though, okay? He's still dangerous, okay?
Yep.
Stay nice and tight.
This is why he said the body in the head. He hit him with a high head shot, then followed by a beautiful liver shot right here. Boom, right down his left arm. That's a beautiful liver shot. You couldn't ask for a better delivered body punch.
You heard Barker said there was nothing I could do about it. Those organ shots paralyzed him.
But then Barker came back and landed shots of his own, and he hurt Geale pretty bad.
Round 7 begins in what is becoming a great fight in Atlantic City. Daniel Geale landed 28 out of 51 power shots in the 6th round, almost knocked Barker out with a left hook to the liver, reminiscent of the left hook to the liver with which Gennady Golovkin finished Matthew Macklin on June 29. And then Barker came back late in the round with phenomenal power shots of his own. Steve Weisfeld, how do you have it now?
I have Geale up by 1 point. Rounds 4 and 5, Geale edged him because of his quickness. Round 6 was a Ward Gotti type round. I had a 10-8 because of the knockdown. So Geale's up by 1 point after 6.
All-out war on the boardwalk. Australia against England.
Oh, good shot by Geale.
And you heard Graham Shaw in Geale's corner saying after that round, he can't have much left.
This is a terrific middleweight fight between two guys fighting for the primes of their careers. Who's going to go on to bigger and better things in this busy, crowded middleweight division?
Somewhere Golovkin is watching. Somewhere Sergio Martinez is watching. Action in a great division.
Somewhere Matthew Macklin is watching.
He knows them both very well.
Yes, he does.
Get off his head.
Don't stand for up here.
Thank you. Get off his head.
Good shot.
The way Darren Barker has recovered from that body shot, which paralyzed his legs and put him down, you don't see it very often.
No, you sure don't.
Think about De La Hoya versus Hopkins, or Macklin versus Golovkin, or Virgil Hill against Roy Jones. They can't get up. It's very difficult to even rise from that.
And it didn't look at first as though there was any chance Barker would rise. And then he didn't throw any punches for about 45 seconds. And then he came back. It's already been a great night on HBO's Boxing After Dark. Earlier, we showed you what took place in Cardiff, Wales, where Sergey Kovalev went across the Atlantic Ocean to take a risk, try to win a title belt from Nathan Cleverly, and knocked Cleverly out with a fantastic display of power punching, knocking him down twice in the third round, knocking him down a third time in the fourth round, and eliciting the stoppage from referee Tony Brown. Kovalev continues to press his credentials toward the top of the light heavyweight division, and now he has a title belt. Jonathan Romero of Colombia had a title belt, which he brought into the ring at 122 pounds against Kiko Martinez of Spain. And while Martinez had a bloody left eye, he had a determination to get to Romero's body. And in round 1, and then later in round 6, he strafed Romero with brilliant power shots and ultimately forced the stoppage that gave him an upset win and a title belt of his own. Now we're in the 8th round of Daniel Geale in the red trunks against Darren Barker in the blue trunks. And you can see on Steve Weisfeld's unofficial scorecard that he scored the 7th round for Barker after Barker was very nearly knocked out by a tremendous body shot in the 6th.
And Barker just took 2 big punches. They just traded 2 big punches, as a matter of fact.
Rock'em sock'em in the middle of the ring.
We all wondered whether Barker would have anything left for the 7th round after the tumult of the 6th round, which Steve Weisfeld called a Gaddy Ward type round. It was Geale who only threw 36 punches in the 7th. Clearly a drop-off for him, by far his lowest output of the fight. Barker threw 24 of 71 in a brilliant display of courage and energy after what he had gone through in the 6th.
And does Barker get up from that shot had he never fought Sergio Martinez?
Oh, good right hand by Geale.
Had he never had the experience of coming so close just to be stopped, feeling as though he was on the canvas in that fight and there was nothing he could do, his body wouldn't respond. Did that experience help his body respond this time? Mind over matter.
Barker's been through so much. 2 hip surgeries, beaten up by a gang of thugs on the street, hospitalized in London after that. Long periods of time without fights. He's brought everything he's got to the table tonight in Atlantic City.
You gotta stop pushing his head down, okay? You gotta stop pushing his head down, all right? All right, okay? It's all right.
Tell you what, Danny Geale is no slouch for a champion either, son.
Turn around.
Geale's put on a brilliant show.
Yes, he has. And he's very energetic, and he stays energetic the entire fight.
Yep.
Good hook by Barker.
Good counter left hook by Barker. Perfectly timed after Geale missed the right.
Turn around.
From the opening bell, every punch has been thrown with blistering bad intentions.
Get off his head, get off his head, get off. Come on, let's go, pick your head up.
These nice guys fight rough, don't they?
Another round in which both guys did some damage, but I felt that Barker was still in control with a greater output and harder shots.
You're going real good. Don't let him take the breaks, though, you know? He's fading now, you know? This is where you're strong, okay? Keep that strength, okay? I want that head moving all the time. Do not stand in front of him, okay? Even if you're doing nothing, I want that. I don't want you standing there, okay? And every time you turn him, what you're doing, not doing it, punch him. Punch off that turn down. You're turning him really good. With the right hand, even if it misses, I want that hook every time, okay?
Yeah. Staying there too long after you let your shots go. Come on, nice up on your toes, Ben. Come on, you've got a better boxing ability than him.
Box numbers in 8. Geale, who threw only 36 punches in the 7th round, got it up to 49 in that round, landed 21, a good connect percentage. but Barker was 27 of 72. So he's been more active for both of the last 2 rounds after nearly getting knocked out in the 6th. They are both tremendously determined fighters, but the small edge in determination tonight has to go to Barker, who's been through a certain form of hell and has come back.
I wonder what it does to Geale when he hears his corner tell him he's fading now, he's fading. What if Barker doesn't fade? I know what his corner is trying to do, but Roy, that could backfire maybe.
Yeah, it sure could now, because he doesn't seem to be fading at all.
And how amazing is it, given Geale's reputation for superior stamina, to hear Tony Sims telling Barker he's fading now. He's gonna fade back. Now Geale knows he needs a comeback and seems to be pressing for it.
I don't see too much fading from either guy in this fight so far.
Good shot by Geale.
That right hand's been his money punch this fight.
I think Barker was hurt by the punch and bought a little time by hugging Geale into the ropes. Now here they go again.
With the exception, of course, of that left hook to the liver. Otherwise, it's been Geale's right hand over the top.
There have been some amazing Fight of the Year candidates this year. Bradley Provodnikov, Rios Alvarado, Figueroa Arakawa. This is yet another memorable fight.
Well, I think in some of those fights you mentioned, though these guys are throwing with all they got, what they got in the power department is not quite what some of the other fights, you know, those fighters have in the power department.
Probably right.
It's one of the reasons they can do this like this, is that neither one does hit like Golovkin, or this fight's over long ago.
But this fight, like Bradley Provodnikov, is very close. Very hard to tell who can win it.
And dramatic comebacks from the brink of defeat. So far won by Barker.
Four-punch combination by Barker.
Good body shot by Barker.
Three-punch combination by Geale. Three-punch combination by Barker. Three-punch combination by Geale. Give and take, ebb and flow, shifting tides of fortune. What a fight.
Stop right there. Stop right there. It's good. I got it. Step back.
Immediately following this telecast, stick around for an encore presentation of the latest edition of Hard Knocks training camp with the Cincinnati Bengals. If you got more boxing on the brain, check out HBO Latino for former Prospect of the Year Thomas Delorme versus Frankie Figueroa. Delorme moved back down from 147 to 140 pounds. Check that out on HBO Latino to see how he looked.
Daniel, you can do it. You trained hard enough for this fight. You know you got these 3 rounds easy, okay?
Yes.
Easy. Just keep your shape, okay?
Yep.
Nice and small. Don't wave your arms around. And pick the shots on the inside.
Round 9 was another round in which the CompuBox numbers favored Barker. 25 out of 78, as opposed to 18 out of 58 for Geale. Those numbers don't always dictate who wins the round. It also matters who lands the harder, more effective shots. Steve Weisfeld, how do you have it through 9?
Jim, I have it 86 to 84 for Barker. It's hard to believe after round 6, but you basically have the same Barker you did in 1, 2, and 3. Geale, I thought, had his moments, but Barker finished strong to pull out a close round 8 and a round 9. So after 9 rounds, I have Barker up by 2 points.
More shocking things in this world have happened, but it is interesting that Barker's the guy outworking Geale late in this fight, and it's Geale who's had Barker on the canvas earlier in the fight.
If Daniel Geale pulls out a close fight on the scorecards with a late rally, it will be only one of several times in his career that he's been able to do that. The book on Geale is that you don't close the book until all 12 rounds are done.
shot by Geale.
Yeah, that body work appeared to really bother Barker, who attempted an uppercut on the inside, had almost nothing on it.
Clean, straight right hand lead for Geale, and he backs away. Now Barker comes off. Big 1-2. Five-punch combination for Barker. 3 solid shots to the body.
Oh, good right hand.
Darren Barker's having another good round. 1 minute to go. Geale's gonna mount a fight-winning comeback. Now would be a good time to begin.
Go over here right by Geale. Oh, good shot by Barker.
Tremendous uppercut by Barker. 2 times in the round, he has risked an uppercut from distance. Both times he's landed them. It's a good way to get countered, but Barker's gotten away with it.
Might be a good idea for Barker to figure out how to take away that right hand from Geale.
Like that?
Yeah.
Go around it.
Barker stood his ground there and ducked the right hand from Geale. Ducks another right hand.
Yeah, took a couple
Misses with the
steps
left hook.
That threw a beautiful left hook.
Now he lands the left hook again.
Barker's cut for sure now.
Finally, a trickle of blood from outside the left eye of Darren Barker.
And the right eye looks like it's swelling up as well.
10 rounds in the books. Championship rounds to go with Daniel Geale's middleweight belt on the line.
Darren, I want to see that punch ratio again. You've got to win these last 2 rounds. Because you've got a knockdown on this. You've got to win these one fight last 2 rounds big. Yeah, Dan? Come on.
He see Barker throw 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive body shots. Only one was blocked, and followed by a beautiful left uppercut right up under the right hand of Geale. Beautiful left uppercut. Couldn't ask for a better placed punch.
Your trainer might like for you to be 6 inches closer throwing that uppercut, but Barker wants to win the fight. He's willing to take risks to do it. CompuBox numbers in the 10th. Amazing. Geale, 32 of 63. Barker, 35 of 88. Together they land 67 of 151 punches, 54 of them hard power shots.
Mentioned Barker's distance throwing the uppercut. I thought the prettiest part of the whole combination was Barker's blocking Geale's counter left simultaneously.
Amazing. We've seen some tremendous skill in there tonight.
Get out, get out.
Over and over, they trade shots in the middle of the ring.
Barker's left eye, the mark of Geale's repeated right hands that have gotten through to the head.
We waited for that to burst open all night long. It finally breaks open in the 10th round.
Barker, I feel, in the last round and a half has been a little more conscious of Geale's right hand.
Yeah, but I think Barker is the better technician here, and Geale's the harder worker, and that always makes for a brilliant fight when you have a terrific hard worker and a great boxer or a better boxer in it with the hard worker. It all depends on who can impose their will on the other guy.
Absolutely. This is a fight about determination and will at this point.
Yep.
Both of them have proven their skills. Both of them have proven their athletic quality. Both of them have proven their stamina. They're fighting with heart now.
Yes, they are.
And the sense is that Geale has a belt partly because he has that extra something in terms of the hustle late in fights.
Yeah, but
Barker,
maybe Geale has a belt because he didn't have to fight Sergio Martinez.
Well, of course.
Barker did.
Of course, especially back then. when Barker fought him. But Barker here is getting the better of the work rate. He has the higher work rate, showing how badly he wants this.
I don't think anybody would have expected Darren Barker to out-throw Daniel Geale down the stretch after having been knocked down on a sizzling liver shot in the 6th round and having his legs taken away. That's spectacular. Total punches landed, and you see at the bottom of the screen, Barker landing more punches by CompuBox count in this round.
Let go, stop right there. Turn around.
Barker wants it bad. You can, I mean, everything about this fight is indicated it.
No doubt about it.
One round to go. War on the shore.
Okay?
You give him nothing to push this. Don't let him make this last round, okay? I want you to make this last round, okay? Don't wait for anything. Don't step in with nothing, okay? When you
Last round, Daniel, last round.
Do not let him steal this round off you.
Last round, Darren, last round.
You've got your chin down, haven't you?
Last 3 minutes more than any other round, okay? You've got it in you, okay? We wouldn't ask you, you didn't have it. You've got it.
5-minute round last one then, is it easy?
That's it.
Do it easy.
3 minutes and you retain this, but you've got to push it, okay? Side,
Sheena Geale seated at ringside. Her husband's got 3 minutes left to try to hold on to his title belt. Gemma Barker, or excuse me, Gemma KO, eventually we assume to become Gemma Barker, fiancée, mother of Barker's 6-year-old daughter, also seated at ringside. Amazing numbers from the 11th. Daniel Geale, the one with the great stamina, 19 out of 52. Darren Barker, down in the 6th round, 27 out of 89 in that round. If one fighter has imposed his will on the other, particularly in these late rounds, it is Darren Barker.
Without a doubt.
And yet it seems to be a very close fight, and it's Geale who maybe came in with a little more fanfare, and it's Geale who scored the knockdown, and it's Barker who's bleeding.
100% correct.
The optics are good for Geale.
All of those things could affect the scoring, and you're right. The optics are good for Geale. Well put. 2 minutes to go.
Surprised a little bit that Geale hasn't made a conscious effort to throw more powerful body shots, being that he put him down with the body shot.
No question.
Daniel Geale came in with a record of 29-1. The only loss of his career to Anthony Mundine a few years ago was easily avenged earlier this year. Darren Barker came in at 25-1. The only loss of his career was a knockout loss in a valiant performance 2 years ago to division kingpin Sergio Martinez here in Atlantic City. They have fought an all-out fist-to-fist war here in the Revel Hotel as Geale tries to hold on to his title belt and Barker tries to take it with as determined a performance as we've seen this year.
Barker's
Geale hurt him.
Yeah, Barker's hurt bad, but Geale's not going to finish him.
It was the left hand that did it.
And the right.
He followed up with a right, but he got Barker conscious enough of the right hand that got a left in there.
If Barker's hurt, though, he's putting up a pretty good show of body language.
It was very shortly.
To keep selling himself down the stretch.
It was very short-lived.
Oh, see, Barker's legs are not good.
No, they're not.
I don't know if Geale realizes what kind of trouble Barker's in.
He doesn't.
30 seconds to go. A little bit of a poker game in there as Darren Barker cheats, trying to impress upon Daniel Geale that he's not as badly hurt as we think he might be.
Well, he's credible because he did this after he almost got stopped earlier in the fight.
His powers of recovery are amazing. Something like Evander Holyfield in there. In the sense that 1 minute you think he's gone, and the next minute he's wailing away. What a fight. Tremendous performance by both fighters. Wow. Yeah. 12 rounds of sustained, non-stop action from two very determined fighters. Daniel Geale on your screen right there came in with a record of 5-0 in title fights and gave a tremendous account of himself in his first appearance here in the United States. But what a heroic performance by Darren Barker, who seemed to control the first 3 rounds, then lost the 4th and 5th round, and then suddenly in the 6th round found himself on the canvas. The big right-hand counterpunch upstairs on the top of the head, and then this solid left hook to the liver, and that freezes the legs. You saw it happen to Matthew Macklin against Gennady Golovkin a month ago, and now Barker was down on the canvas. And for a moment it appeared he would not beat the count. He got up at a count of 9. And now Steve Weisfeld, how did you score the 12th? How did you score the fight overall?
12th round I scored for Geale, 10-9. Overall I had the fight 115, 112 for Barker. I think the question is, putting aside the knockdown round, did Barker win at least 7 of the remaining 11 rounds? And I think the answer is yes. I think he won the fight.
Take us through the 3 official judges who will score the fight.
The first judge is Carlos Ortiz Jr., no relation to the former lightweight champ of the same name. Carlos is a veteran Marine and a retired police sergeant. Carlos had Sergio Martinez up by 4 points over Macklin after 11, which I thought was a good score. Next is longtime judge Barbara Perez. Barbara's husband, Tony, refereed Ali Frazier II. Their son, Richard, is an amateur ref. Barbara's being inducted in the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame this November. I agreed with her score on Martinez Pavlik. The third judge is Alan Rubenstein. Alan's also an active trial judge in Pennsylvania, having been elected twice to that position. I agreed with Alan that Hopkins beat Pavlik by a wide margin.
And Michael Buffer has the numbers. Let's see who won the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Revel, Atlantic City, we go to the scorecards. Alan Rubenstein scores at 114-113 for Geale. Barbara Perez scores at 116-111 for Barker. And Carlos Ortiz scores at 114-113 for the winner. And new IBF Middleweight Champion of the World, Darren Barker.
The performance of a lifetime for Darren Barker. And at age 31, in his 27th pro fight, he finally has won a title belt.
Well-deserved, wonderful performance. What a comeback from going to school against Sergio Martinez. You couldn't ask for a much better, much more improved boxer, Jim.
Couldn't ask for a better effort from the 2 fighters who put on a tremendous show.
Yes, both of them put on a highly tremendous show. What you found out was what the difference in what the lesson learned when one guy fights the best pound for pound in the weight division and another guy comes up and fights less than the best pound for pound in the weight division.
And Barker, perhaps because of that tiny edge of experience and the guts it gave him to keep persevering down the stretch, ultimately wins the fight. CompuBox numbers, and you will see that they favor Darren Barker. He lands 33 more punches. He throws nearly 200 more punches, 189 more. He lands at a slightly lower overall connect percentage. Power punches, he lands 33 more. He throws 79 more. They both land at the same very high connect percentage. Very high quality, skillful fighting by both Geale and Barker. And now Max Kellerman stands by with the new middleweight title holder, Darren Barker.
Darren, not only you, but your trainer and your promoter are crying and hugging. Try to put this into words.
So difficult. Not many people know the journey I've been through. You know, it's been a real rocky story, but you know, I'll just dedicate this to my late brother. You know, everything I've done is for him, and Gary, this is for you, mate.
Darren, you said that this experience against Sergio Martinez would help you. You were dropped by what looked like a liver shot, and it didn't look like you were going to make it ringside. Take me through the knockdown, how you got up, and what you did to survive.
First off, I'll take my hat off to Daniel Geale. He's a great champion and a tough man. He caught me right up the solar plexus and completely took my breath away from me. But the only thought that went through my head as them closing seconds were going was my late brother and my daughter and the rest of my family and everyone who stuck by me. You know, they pulled me through it. Without them, I couldn't do anything.
You got up and outworked him down the stretch. He was known as the guy who closes strong. But in the 12th, it looked ringside like he hurt you again. And you were the guy who was cut, and you were the guy who was dropped, and he's the guy who comes in with the belts. Yeah. It just, if it went the distance, looked like it may not go your way. What were you thinking as those scorecards were read?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I knew there wasn't much in it at all, you know, and I knew I was up against it, being on the, you know, being the away fighter. And Daniel was a fantastic champion, and he pushed me all the way. You know, that's out of my hands. I just tried to work my hardest, and you know, thank God it paid off. But you know, hats off again to Daniel.
What do you want to do now? We want to get to Daniel in a second. What do you want to do now?
I want to go home and see my daughter. I miss her badly. I really, really do. But before I do that, there might be a couple of beers consumed. But.
And in the future, who do you, when you look at this middleweight division, you told us in the fighter meeting yesterday how excited you were just to be a part of all of this. What do you see ahead?
Well, you know, I think I've got obligations. First and foremost, yeah, I just want to go home and see my little one. I miss her badly. You know, I've been away from her for so long, as Daniel would have been. And, you know, yeah, I just want to get home, and then we'll assess the future. But.
Thanks so much, and congratulations on a gutty performance.
Thank you to all the English fans that come out and all the fans that come out to sport, and thanks again to Daniel and Gary Shaw for giving me the opportunity.
Congratulations again.
Respect, Daniel. Respect to you, brother.
Daniel, you said that down the stretch, you expected the fight to come down the stretch. It came to the stretch run. You seemed to carry the 12th round and rock him. You were the guy who dropped him. What's your feeling about what just happened?
Well, you know, I'm not going to whinge and cry and carry on, man. The thing is, you know, I didn't go my way tonight. I'm very, very disappointed, don't get me wrong. Man, I worked so hard for that. I put everything into that. My whole body, everything. I worked hard. I'd done everything that I had to do. Now, I pushed it the whole way. I hurt him throughout the fight. You know, that's what happens. It's disappointing.
We thought, although you did carry the 12th round and seemed to have him hurt, ringside it looked as though he was outworking you in a lot of those late rounds, and that seemed strange. Did you feel that he was out hustling you? If you could do something different, would you?
For sure. You know, I could tell he was throwing a lot of punches. You know, whether they were catching me or not, you know, that's to be said. But you know, I have to sit down and watch the replay. You know, I felt I caught a lot on the gloves, and a lot with glancing, missing. You know, I did feel in control. You know, it wasn't my best performance, obviously, but, you know, Darren's a great fighter. He's a very skillful guy. You know, I knew I had to be under my game throughout. I knew it was going to be tight. You know, it was a close fight, and I'm very disappointed.
Well, thank you for a tremendous performance. It was a tremendous fight. Best of luck, and we hope to see you again soon. Jim?
All right. Well, Daniel Geale's right. It was a close fight. And in our observation, both of them are still serious live players in the loaded middleweight division, which promises more tremendous fights in the next couple of years. And what a night we had on HBO's Boxing After Dark. On 2 continents, in 2 different places, 3 separate titles changed hands in brilliant showings by several terrific fighters. It was an outstanding evening of boxing, and now once again, let's look ahead. This Tuesday night, it's the premiere of the next edition of Real Sports, featuring a profile of wrestling star turned yoga instructor, Diamond Dallas Page. Immediately following Real Sports, stick around for the debut of the next episode of Hard Knocks Training Camp with the Cincinnati Bengals. Next on HBO, stay tuned for an encore presentation of this week's episode of Hard Knocks Training Camp with the Cincinnati Bengals. And for more boxing, switch over to HBO Latino for Thomas Dulorme versus Frankie Figueroa. So now for our entire crew, I'm Jim Lampley. Thank you for being with us for this edition of Boxing After Dark.